Hare Krishna, everyone. So, welcome everyone for our Damodar Kartik Month program. So, we have Raghavendra Prabhu and Ragini Mataji with us. So, today they will take us through Vrindavan Braj Mandal Parikrama. So, Prabhuji Mataji, you can start. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, is the skin visible?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
dear
Prabhu.
devotees. Please accept our humble obeisance. All glories to all merciful Srimati Radharani and Madan Mohan. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. With this prayer, let us continue our Vrindavan Parikrama. After final obeisance before Madan Mohan, whose we had a transcendental discussion yesterday, we continue our walk, carefully avoiding stepping into muddy water and the sea waste that spills out onto the path, leaving that to pigs. One of the devotee visiting Vrindavan for the first time is confused. I've been reading Krishna book for 2 years, he says, but I never imagined it to be so dirty and unhygienic. Where are those clear water, lakes, fragrant flowers, and refreshing breeze you keep reading about? A more experienced devotee explains to him that holy dham is covered by a thin layer of Lord's illusionary energy and cannot be perceived with material eyes. We need spiritual vision to be able to see Vrindavan as it is. Ultimately, by the mercy of our Guru Parampara, we'll be able to see the dham when it chooses to reveal itself to us.
Prabhupada says, the ugliness that you see here is Yog Maya. It's Krishna's covering. Vrindavan appears this way to drive away the atheists and impersonalities, just as New York attracts them. For a devotee, this Vrindavan is as good as Krishna transcendental abode in the spiritual sky, that is Golok Vrindavan. But you must have eyes to see it. As we can see on the map, yesterday we were visiting Madan Mohan temple and today we will cover Imlital, Shringarvat, Chira Ghat and Keshi Ghat. Let's start with Imlital. Imlital is just over there, the place where Lord Krishna would sit, feeling separation from his beloved Srimati Radharani and turn golden in ecstasy. At this very place, Krishna then disclosed to Sri Radhika, in my intense ecstasies of separation, I assumed your form, your complexion, and your love. In the age of Kali, I will again appear with your complexion and with your mood, and I will spread that love throughout the world through Sankirtan movement, the loud congregational chanting of the holy name, which is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. According to his word, Lord Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the age of Kali. When Lord Chaitanya visited Vrindavan, he would come here daily and for hours and hours with his japmala, he would deeply absorb himself in chanting the holy names. In his ecstasy, he would sometimes turn blackish in color. This is the glory of Imlital. Moving on, we come to Shringarvat. Shringar means to decorate. Krishna would dress himself in various ways here to please Subhala and his other friends. Lord Nityanand also stayed here during his tour to Vrindavan, and thus this place is also known as Nityanand Vat. Also, the original japa beads of Sri Jiva Goswami, original ornaments of Nityanand Prabhu, and original handwritten books by Sri Rup Goswami, Jiva Goswami are kept safe here. A little further ahead stands a tree with colorful pieces of cloth tied to its branches. The Bhakti Ratnakar describe how once after the Ras Leela, Krishna and the gopis came here to bath. This is where Krishna returned to the shore and hid their clothes. This place was named as Chirghat after their pastime.
So we are now approaching Keshi Ghat as we walk single file through narrow stone passageway. Here Krishna killed terrifying horse demon. From here we can see the beautiful river Yamuna. Local pilgrims offer lamp to Yamuna Devi. Some of the devotees descend the step to perform Achman at the most sacred place. Parikramers can also perform Achman instead of taking a full bath. The proper way to do Achman is as follows. One should go down the river and offer obeisance close to the water edge, keeping the water on the one's left side as we do when we are offering the obeisance to the deity in the temple. One then should drink the few drops of water and then sprinkle few drops over one's head. One should then stand with the folded hands and offer prayer to the river. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recited prayer before bathing here in the same way. We now take your leave for tomorrow to visit yet another enchanting spots in Vrindavan. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari Bol, Jai, wonderful. Thank you, Raghavendra Prabhu and Ragini Mataji, for this wonderful narration. For once, we felt that yes, we are in Vrindavan Dham, and Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Imlitala ki Jai. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much. So let us chant for this lovely, lovely devotee couple here. The theme of this year's Brajmandal Parikrama is actually when both Mataji and Prabhuji, they come together and sing of the glories of Krishna. So here we are. Let's chant for both Mataji and Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So we know that, how important hearing is, how important Shravanam is, right? Isn't it? Because we know about this beautiful, beautiful pastime of Rukmini, who had never ever seen Krishna. And from her childhood, she only heard about Krishna. She heard that, oh, this boy in Gokul is so beautiful. His color is shyam. His color is like that of a newly formed cloud. He's Navagana shyam. Oh, he's bent in three directions. He's Tribhanga. Oh, he wears a more punk in his hair. Oh, and he plays the flute very, very melodiously. So, listening to all this, Rukmini Maya, she fell in love with Krishna. And then she wrote a letter to Krishna to abduct her before she could get married to the wicked Shishupal. Right? So this is the power of hearing. So we have yet to see Krishna, isn't it? And we have a strong desire to see Krishna. So this hearing is so powerful, and we are so thankful for all the devotee couples who come every day and narrate a beautiful pastime and take us to Vraja and tell us so many things about so many pastimes of Krishna. Name, fame, form, pastimes of Krishna are non-different than Krishna. So actually we are seeing Krishna, right? So with this mood, we are moving forward for today's children's program. And today's children's program, we have Monisha. And Monisha is a wonderful devotee child, and she loves to help her mother in cooking. She also likes to do gardening. Yes, Monisha. And she loves to read also. And here we have this beautiful gopi with a tilak and gopi dots on her face. So, and okay, over to you, Monisha. Let's hear from you about one quality of a devotee.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today is the auspicious day of Kartik month. Today we are in day 4 of Kartik month. So today let us talk about one of the quality of Lord of a Vaishnava, which is Nidosha, faultless. To err is a human. To err is a human, but a vivid quality of a Vaishnava is faultless, Nidosha. One particularly remarkable feature of Srila Prabhupada is that he simply did not make mistakes. It was due to his permanent situation in the internal journey of Lord Krishna, which by nature affords freedom from the four faults, which is the tendency to commit mistakes, to be in illusion, to cheat others, and the possession of imperfect senses. Srila Prabhupada was mistake-free because Srila Prabhupada performed all his devotional activities in a mood of surrender to the desires of Lord Krishna. His activities were guided by the Lord and was mistake. Prabhupada could see how to engage a person to the nature of that person because mistakes in management cause many unnecessary difficulties. But Prabhupada did not make such mistakes. His ideas worked, and even if in the beginning devotees could not understand them. For example, Brahmananda Prabhu, president. Brahmananda Prabhu was given the responsibility to be the president because Prabhupada had an uncanny way of knowing how to engage a person according to his nature in Krishna consciousness. Brahmananda Prabhu had that ability. He previously was the president of his class, captain of his football team, and the captain of his wrestling team. He was a good and responsible person. He had a natural tendency to lead. He was a born leader. Though Prabhupada was not aware of Brahmananda Prabhu's history, just looking at Brahmananda Prabhu, Prabhupada could engage him correctly. Similarly, Garga Muni Prabhu was a good businessman. Again, without knowing about his history, Prabhupada knew it and engaged him as a treasurer. Prabhupada had the ability to see by looking. They call it the mirror of the mind. When you look at one person's eyes, it is called the mirror of the mind. When you look at a person's eyes, it's called the mirror of the mind. Prabhupada could see how to engage a person accordingly to the nature of that person. He correctly chose people. He chose Brahmananda Prabhu as president, Gargamuni Prabhu as treasurer, and Satsvarupa Prabhu as secretary. In management and in all principal affairs, his judgment was always correct. Here is another example. Another program Prabhupada pushed his disciples into was a book distribution. No one thought it was feasible. Distribute books? Not possible. No one will buy them, the early disciples thought. But Prabhupada insisted, and the results were astonishing. Devotees gradually came to accept Prabhupada's judgment as infallible. They gradually realized if they just did as he asked, even if it seemed impossible or impractical, the results would be wonderful. Devotees became aware that Srila Prabhupada had tremendous success potential and that if they just tried to do what he wanted, they would be empowered and amazing things would happen. His Prabhupada got freedom from illusion. Because of his preaching work, of people, hundreds and thousands of souls were enlightened with spiritual knowledge. His willingness to sacrifice his own personal comfort for the service of humanity demonstrated his complete freedom from tendency to cheat others. He was an expert that even when a devotee did not want to do something, Prabhupada could convince, casual, trick, and trick him into doing it. Then that devotee would feel blissful because he had done service for Krishna under Prabhupada's order. No one ever felt manipulated or exploited by Srila Prabhupada. And finally, his eyes being tinged with ointment of love of Godhead were fully spiritual and free from defect, as were the rest of his senses, all engaged in loving service of Lord Krishna. His purity and concern for others was transparent. He offered everything to Krishna, never desiring anything for himself. Even when others praised him, Prabhupada remained humble, downplayed his own role, and gave all his credit to his spiritual master. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I think there might be a load shedding issue because of which Manjulali Mataji would have lost connection. So, do we have Deepak Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So I think there is a load shedding issue here in Prestige. So she might have lost internet connection because of that.
Oh. So next we have yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Please go ahead. Next is our Kirtan program.
Yeah. So next we have Abhishek Prabhu and family. Ayonija will sing the Damodar Ashtam. Right? So,
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Bhrajamana
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Bhrajamana
Yashodabhiyulukhaladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato dhrityagopya
Yashodabhiyulukhaladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato dhrityagopya
Rudantam muhurnetrayugmam rijantam Karambhojayugmena स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम्
मुहुश्वासितं पत्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम्
इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्यापयन्तम्
इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्यापयन्तम्
तदीयेषितज्ञेषु भक्तिर्चितत्वां पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्तिवन्दे
तदीयेषिताशेषु भक्तिर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्तिवन्दे
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चन्यं वृणेऽहं वरेशदपीह
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चन्यं वृणेऽहं परेषदपीह
इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालां सदा मे मनस्याविरास्तं किमन्ये
इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्वादिष्टां किमन्ये
इदं ते मुखाम्भोजमत्यन्तनीले वृतं कुन्तले स्निग्धरक्तिश्च गोप्या
इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्व्रतं कुन्तलैस्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या
मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्याविरास्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभै
मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताभरं मे मनस्य
अमलं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देवदामोदरनन्तविष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालब्धिमग्नम् देवदामोदरनन्तविष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानु गृहाणेश्य मामाज्ञमेधक्षिदृश्य कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानु गृहाणेश्य मामाज्ञमेधक्षिदृश्य कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमूर्त्येव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च
कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्तेव वृद्धा
त्वया
मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह
नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने
नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने
नमो राधिकाय त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो राधिकाय त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो राधिकाय त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्राजमानम्
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं रसकुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमानम्
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा दामोदर राधे
जय राधा दामोदर राधे
जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम
कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम
जय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय
जय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर
जय
निताय
जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद जय हो प्रभुपाद
जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव
जय हो गुरुदेव जय हो गुरुदेव
निताय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल
जय गौर हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल
श्री दामोदराष्टकम की कार्तिक मास की जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे
Jai, what a melodious voice that is. For a moment, we thought that we put on some record and some record is going on YouTube or something is going on. It's not a live performance. So thank you, Ayonija, Abhishek Prabhu, and Priyanka Mataji. She's the glorious daughter of Abhishek Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji. And she's a Vaishnavi who plays the harmonium very well. She sings very well and a very humble devotee at the same time. And for a moment, we got cut off from the internet, and I was so hassled. So imagine if we get cut off, if ever, one is not connected to the main internet power, which is Krishna. How bewildered and hassled can we be? Right? So this is the power of Krishna. So let's chant for this glorious family, for their spiritual progress, and may Lord Damodar always bestow his choicest blessings on them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai, Jai. Yes, the recording is on YouTube. You can view it again. And for tomorrow, there is one announcement. Let us gather in large numbers tomorrow. Tomorrow is a weekend quiz where devotees, the couple devotees from our congregation, will be reciting, will take us to Vraja. And of course, the pattern remains same. Children will also recite, and there will be Damodar Ashtakam. Be prepared for a wonderful brainstorming quiz, and we will be giving away a lot of exciting prizes. Hari, Hari Bol! So let's join in large numbers tomorrow. Bring your friends, extended families, neighbors, send them this link, and we will see you all again tomorrow. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। कार्तिक मास की जय, यशोदा मैया की जय, दामोदर की, राधा दामोदर की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि।